top 25 yesterday. Is that something that you guys pay attention to?
Well, it's kind of hard to ignore sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, but I think in a normal year, this time of year, at least this is just my thoughts, it wouldn't really mean very much at all in a normal situation because we're still in November and it's just it really doesn't mean very much. But to me this year maybe it does, just given what we're not allowed to do. So I think it's good and important that for as long as we possibly can, these guys are not forgotten, and people are looking at them, people are talking about them. So from that standpoint, I'm really glad that happened, but it's way too early in the year. There's no accuracy in those whatsoever. A month from now, 2 months from now, there's probably very little accuracy, and as we all know, the depth of college basketball right now is maybe better than it's ever been, at least in my lifetime. So, the difference between so-called top 25 and the next 75 is not a very big gap. So we need to understand that and not think that when you get a number put on you that it's an accurate number. But still, I think it's great, for our guys given the situation for the whole year.
You got your first look at Jordan, Marcus playing down low together. What were some good things you saw out of them being there?
Well, they really rebounded together. We needed a powerful game. The rebounds were not going our way, and I thought together they changed that. But what it gives us is some versatility. We can play two big, powerful players. Ben gives us a whole other at both ends, defensively, offensively, gives us a lot of everything. So we can kind of mix and match, and depending on matchups and whether we want to try to play to the defense or play to the offense, in terms of the matchups, it's really good. But they play well together. All three of them play well together, so I don't have any problem. Whoever's in the game, and a lot of it depends on who's having a good night, who's out of foul trouble, how we match. So many times it's about matchups with the other team. We're going to play Brown, and Brown is a bunch of three-point shooters running around, and so it gives you a whole other challenge to defend. So every game, whether you say, well, we're bigger than them or they're bigger than us or whatever, there's always different styles and different lineups, small lineups, big lineups, and those types of things. So it's important to have a team where you can make some adjustments, and because of those two guys, we can do those things.
Did the closeness of the Yale game have any impact on how your guys will prepare for Brown in terms of
I hope so. I hope so. But we talked about it the day after the game, and just in all honesty, were we as ready to play Yale as we were Stanford? And they all said, hey, we were ready to play, but not at that level. We respected Yale, but not till 5-10 minutes into the game we realized what we had told them, which was Yale's arguably ahead of Stanford right now. So we got a tougher game than we had. So I hope we learned that lesson. Those lessons are getting learned all across the country every single day. And we talked about this. It's not easy to get at fever pitch 30 times a year. And the greatest competitors have a way of doing that, but you rarely see college teams, professional teams, able to do that. But it is one of the biggest challenges. It's one of the most important things to get yourself to a very, very high level each and every night. But the best thing about that game was that we played our way to a very high level in the second half. So I think that speaks to their character and their competitiveness and their toughness. So I think we got a really good read out of that.
You spoke after the game about how you love games like that where it wasn't necessarily the prettiest basketball, but you had to grit it out. Are your players learning to love that kind of win too?
It's something that we've talked about really the whole time that we've been here. And when I say I love those games, not during the game, only if you win those games. Those are the best wins, because over the course of a long season, you're going to have X number of nights where you just shoot the ball and flow and everything's great. And you win those games. Everybody wins those games. And the better teams have more of them than the not so good teams. But you win those games and everybody goes home happy. But those don't make for great seasons. Those make for pretty good seasons. But what makes for great seasons is when things are not going well, when the ball's not going in the basket, when it seems like it's bouncing wrong the whole time, when free throws are being missed, when you feel frustrated and you still find a way to win. Those are the games that make great seasons. So when I say that, it's only if you win those games do I like those games.
We talked after the game about Nick and his injured finger. Is that something he's just going to have to deal with all season, or is there a point when you guys expect it to be pain
It could and
free?
should heal. I think it's healing, and so barring a setback, I don't think that'll be something that he'll have to deal with the whole year. You know, I think it's getting better each few days probably, and hopefully it'll just continue to do that, and before long it'll be behind him.
With that injury, how do you play his minutes a little bit differently, or how do you adjust to him?
Play him as much as he can, you know, and he's one of the toughest guys you'll ever be around in a lot of different ways, pain tolerance or you know, just competitiveness, those types of things. But if he feels like he can play and Warren feels good about it, then we're just going to play him as if he's healthy. But if we see that he's in pain, he's struggling with it, or there's any chance of further injury, then that's a different case.
Have the contributions from Shake made it easier to manage his minutes this season?
Yes, because Shake has very rarely played like a freshman. You don't feel like he's a freshman in the game, and he's kind of beyond his years in poise and understanding and those kind of things, and he's thankfully he's ahead of probably most freshmen's curves, so he's made it much easier on us. We've got some young guys in the game, and they're responding, and they're a key part. We don't have much depth. It's no secret. We're shorthanded in some ways, but the guys we have are all contributing. They're all cut in, and they're all playing very hard.
Anything else, guys? All right.